Good morning, everybody. It's Kathryn Monet with the National Coalition for Homeless Veterans. I'm here today because I wanted to introduce you to one of NCHV's key partners, Jeff Malley of Experience and Maritz Global Events. The reason I'm doing that is because the coronavirus has created some really uncertain times for folks, and I know that there are a lot of you grantees and members out there who are looking at the possibility of housing veterans in isolation in hotels, motels, and other places. I'm introducing you to Jeff because he has been really helpful to NCHV with regard to our hotel contracts. Jeff, why don't you tell folks a little bit about Maritz Global Events and what you do there?
Okay, thanks, Kathryn. Hello, everybody. Like Kathryn said, my name is Jeff Malley with Experience. We're part of a larger corporation called Maritz Global Events. So our company is behind the scenes on a lot of meetings, conferences for Fortune 100 companies, nonprofits like National Coalition for Homeless Veterans, and large trade associations. Maritz Global Events is one of the leaders in the event and travel industry, producing about 5 million room nights in the United States every single year. So one of the major players, we do have partnerships with all the major hotel chains from Marriott and Hilton and Hyatt to Four Seasons and everything in between. So we work with Kathryn at Homeless Veterans on their annual conference. And Kathryn, I just want to talk to everybody today about if there's any assistance that I can provide with securing hotel rooms. So Kathryn?
So that's fair. I think one of the reasons that we're really looking at introducing you to Jeff is because, as you know, we have an annual conference. We've been holding our annual conference for many, many years. And there was a period of time where we were actually negotiating those contracts ourselves. We weren't getting great terms because we were basically calling hotels and saying, hey, we're having a big conference. We think we're going to have this many people, and we think we're going to need, about this many room nights. What can you offer us? And, not being experts in the hotel business and understanding some of the clauses in those contracts, I think as an organization, we probably exposed ourselves to a little bit more risk than we should have financially if we didn't fulfill the ends of, I guess, our terms in the contract. And so, Jeff, why don't you tell us a little bit more about some of the ways that you and Maritz Global can really help, your clients reduce risks?
Absolutely. So, Kathryn and, National Coalition for Homeless Veterans, her core business is not hotel contracting and hotel sourcing and things of that nature. And that's where myself and Maritz Global Events comes into play. We always are looking out for our clients with the three main risks that are involved in hotel contracting: cancellation charges, attrition charges, and food and beverage performance charges. So not only do we look at the whole picture of what the client is trying to get from the hotel when it comes to proposals, but we're looking at the risk involved in our clients getting into these type of contracts. One nice thing that we can do here at Maritz Global Events is benchmarking. So we put on about 10,000 events a year around the world. And I have access to every single one of those contracts to see if Kathryn and I are looking for a hotel property in DC proper. I can check out and see what my colleagues booked at that particular hotel. What rates did they get? What concessions did they get? Their attrition charges, their cancellation, things of that nature. So that's where we come in, is benchmarking and just looking for the best rates, the best terms, the best concessions that our clients can get.
So I can tell you firsthand that our contracts have gotten a lot better. We've gotten a lot more out of them. And I think Jeff is right. When you look at the discounts that we've been able to achieve from a contracting standpoint across the board, I think they've been really helpful to us as an organization because we've been able to apply those savings to, other things, right? Like providing services to our members, looking at how we fund our work on our homeless hotline and, other critical needs that a nonprofit might have. I mean, I know you all are probably in the position of having some increased federal funding in your grants to do things like this, but your funding will go a lot further if you can negotiate some really great terms in your contracts. Jeff, why don't you tell folks a little bit about how the process works?
Absolutely. So I'm just talking about with how I work with Kathryn and her organization. just finding out the needs that she has when it comes to how many rooms are needed, how many people, what type of meeting space, where do you want your event located. So I have a whole list of questions I always ask clients so I can figure out exactly what they're looking for. We call that a needs assessment. One nice thing is that, you know, clients don't have time to call 10 different hotels to get proposals from and decipher the proposals on a, you know, apples to apples basis. And that's where I would come in. I can, you know, call 5 different hotels, get all their rates, see what concessions they're willing to offer us. So that helps out with just making sure that you're getting the best deal, but the best terms and conditions as well, and saving everybody a lot of time. That is my core business, is sourcing these properties. And then after finding out what's best for the client, you know, client gets to choose, you know, with my consultation, what's the best property. And then it goes into the contracting process. The contract is between the client and the hotel, but we utilize Maritz Global Events contract templates for all the major properties. So every Marriott property, Hilton, Hyatt, Wyndham, it doesn't matter. We already have these contracts in place with that have the clients in mind. So the attrition, cancellation, those terms are more client focused than if you just utilized a Hilton contract coming from a Hilton property. We already have our lawyers, and Hilton's lawyers have already come up with a contract template, and we use that as a starting base, a starting point to do these contracts, and then move forward in that direction.
So I think I've got one last question, and maybe this is something that's more clarification, right? Jeff, tell us about, you know, what cost is there to an organization to use your services?
So to be completely transparent with everybody, Maritz Global Events is an event and travel company. So we make our revenues from, we're a commissionable travel agent company. One nice thing, since we do have the buying power of, you know, we purchase on behalf of our clients over 5 million room nights a year, is that cost of the group rate that we get for our clients doesn't go to the actual group. So the client does not pay for my services. It comes out of the commissionability of the group rate. And because of our buying power, the group rate is not increased. And we have that in the contract. You see, with any hotel we work with, we have a clause, and it's our lowest rate clause. And it says, regardless of the commissionability of Experience and Maritz Global Events, this is the best group rate our hotel is offering for a group your size during these dates. So that just gives the client confidence that not only are we saving them time, but there's not increased money going into the group rate. That makes sense, Kathryn?
Yeah, no, I think it does. I feel like it's one of the best kept secrets, right? Like you get all this help, you get much better contracts, much better terms for your, you know, your conference attendees in my case, or potentially in your case, you know, your veterans or your clients who you're serving in shelters, hotels, and motels. But there's no real cost or risk to you, right? Associated as a person who is looking to improve your services that you're offering.
Absolutely. So Kathryn and I put together kind of a one-page questionnaire just to get the process started. If anybody has questions or interest in seeing what, you know, what services I could provide to help them out. Like I said, your core business is taking care of your members, your clients, your guests. My core business is making sure your organization is getting the best proposals and rates from the hotel community. Everybody knows that the travel industry is in a financial crisis right now. Probably, you know, some estimates are 8 times worse than 9/11. So there's a lot of struggling hotels that would cherish and really like this business coming to their properties. So that's something we can look at when we're sending out the RFP, is what properties check all the boxes, and let's see how how they compete with each other for, you know, giving us the best group rates.
All right. Well, Jeff, is there anything else that I haven't asked you that you'd like to share with folks?
I don't think so. I think, you know, the questionnaire that, you know, that Kathryn and I put together is just a starting point. I'm always going to be available via email or a phone call away for any additional questions, so we can get the ball started, because I know time is sensitive. You might have some some guests, some clients that are at risk, that you need to move out of their local shelter into a safe and healthy environment. And I know that, you know, that's a time sensitive issue. So we're ready to start working on this.
Well, listen, Jeff, thank you so much for your time and for giving folks some tips and offering up your services. I mean, I know you've been invaluable to us at NCHV, and I hope that, you know, you'll be able to forge relationships with other folks in our field, because I think your services are desperately needed now more than ever.
Thank you, Kathryn, and thank you for this opportunity. And like I said, I'm here to help out where I can and just assist, because you have bigger problems to worry about than finding the best rates for your organization. So I'm here, and everybody have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, Jeff.
All right, thank you, Kathryn. Take care.
You too.
All
Bye.
right, bye-bye.